Notts County Talk back with another match preview. As you can see, I'm on my own today. George isn't around for the Christmas period, so I'll be doing the preview myself. It's for the Boxing Day 3 p.m. kickoff. Notts are at home to, I believe, the only side that they haven't played at all this season, which is Maidenhead. Should be a good game. It's one that you'd expect Notts to win. Boxing Day fixture. People love the festive football, don't they? And we expect maybe quite a few Maidenhead fans to come up for Boxing Day. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, 130 odd miles. So it'll be good to get as many down as we can just to make a festive atmosphere and hopefully not get the win. So moving on to the two sides. So Notts sitting 11th. We have 36 points, currently 4 points off the playoffs. Maidenhead sit 16th with 31 points, but they have played one game more than Notts, and you would expect Notts at this stage of the season to be above a side like Maidenhead, no disrespect to them, but you'd also expect Notts to be in a higher position, wouldn't you? Few stats about the teams. Maidenhead haven't drawn a game since October, the 29th of October, so they're either they play well and they get the win, or they don't play well and they lose a game. That there's not much in between, so could work in Notts' favour, could not, or it'll probably end in a draw, won't it? Maidenhead have 3 wins in the last 5, so even though they are below Notts, they're starting to pick up a few victories, which will stand them in good stead if they can continue that. Notts, on the other hand, it didn't feel like long ago that we were saying that we're in a bit of a slump, and now you look at them with the recent form, and Notts have only lost 1 in 5. So 2 wins on the spin. You obviously got the win in the Cup against Chesterfield, and you've got the battling win against Halifax, which at half time, the way things were looking, you thought we're going to struggle here, and Notts absolutely blew them away second half. I mean, Woodson, Rose, absolutely brilliant performance. Fitzsimmons, I've heard, played well, and to be in that kind of form where we weren't doing too well in the league, and then to just still have the power to fight back is something that's really promising and shows that the players are still together very much. Another stat that could definitely work or be against Notts is that Maidenhead actually have the most points away from home this season. So they've only won 9 at home, but they've won 22 away from home, and they're right up there as one of the highest teams at getting points away from home. So Notts are going to have to be really good defensively, because to win more than double your points away is something you don't usually see at any level of football. So if we can stop Maidenhead in the way they want to play, then I think we could hopefully get a win. And we've got a few games in hand over most of the teams in the playoff places, bar Solihull. So if we keep winning, then make that extra game, it'll probably be against Fylde. If we make it count, that could be really, really good going into the later stage of the season, because I think we're at crunch time now where you start to tail off. At this point, you're gone, you're out of the playoff picture, but I hope not to pick up now. So we'll go on to the players to watch for Maidenhead. We've got Alan Massey, so he's a 30-year-old defender. He's basically one of their key players. He's played so many games. He's a very consistent player. He's got 110 league games in the last 2.5 seasons, which is a lot for a defender of 30 years old. So that's obviously an important player for them. Does quite like to get a booking, so he gets stuck in. But I think the likes of Wootton will never shy away from a challenge, and likewise with Thomas, or if it's Dennis he's paired with, I think it'll be Thomas. But they very rarely shy away from tackles, so it should be a good battle between Wootton and Massey. Then you've got Joshua Smile, a midfielder. You may recollect the name when he was at Fulham as a youngster. Now he's played almost every minute of the season so far. Very energetic midfield player, and you just hope that Rose, in form, the way he played against Halifax, will match him stride for stride and nullify any threat that he has. Also Doyle, if he's on it, he could really stop Joshua Smile getting anywhere on the pitch. So those two have got to really combine, because we don't want to be given the run around in the centre of the pitch on our own patch, do we? So those two could potentially just nullify his threat completely. And then Danny Whitehall, a striker, 9 goals this season. He seems okay, although he's only scored 2 in his last 9, and they both came in the same game. So really, in his last 9 games, he's gone 8 without a goal. Now, whether he'll play well, we don't know. He seems to be really hit and miss. Most of his goals came earlier in the season, but should he play, obviously we've got to watch out for a man that can score 9 goals already this season. Now, moving on to team news for Notts. As I'm recording this, it's been posted on the official Twitter, Neil Ardley's words saying, with injuries mounting up, we're in a massive crisis at the worst time of the season. When we do these previews, it either seems to be we've got no injuries or we've got an absolute shed load of injuries. Obviously, Jim O'Brien will not be playing for a long time. You don't need me to tell you that. Sam Slocum, Regan Booty and Ben Turner all missed the weekend's game. And then Mitch Rose, Shields and Brinley all came off with knocks during that match. Obviously, Lacey is still quite early on in his Notts career, and he did have a hamstring niggle before he came into the side, so whether he can play that many games we'll have to see. So that could be Bird having to replace him. But yeah, we've got a lot of injuries to take note, and it's really touch and go whether some of the players will make it back. Obviously O'Brien won't, but whether some players will make it back in time for the game. So with that being said, I'll go into the lineup that I think Notts will go with. So I think it's going to be Fitzsimmons. Had a good game against Halifax. He'll almost definitely start the game. Now right back, you've got to look, and if Brindley's come off with a knock, you'd like to hope he's okay, but it's only like a few days between games. I'm going to say Brindley still. If not, obviously we've got a ready-made replacement in Kelly Evans, but I do worry that he hasn't had very much game time at all. But we'll have to see with that. Lacey and Rawlinson at the back. Lacey again played well. It's just a solid player, showing that he is a level above. And it'll be interesting to see when Turner comes back, if Lacey and Rawlinson have formed a partnership, what happens there. But that's what I'll go with. I'll go with Bakayoko at left back. I just think he would be perfect for a home game against a side that we can't let them come onto us. We've got to push onto them. So I think Bakayoko will be good in forcing them, because if we let Maidenhead control the game, we've seen they've got 22 of their 31 points away from home this season. We can't be on the back foot. We've got to push forward, and I think Bakayoko offers a bit more than McCrory in that sense going forward. And I think you can see it at home. When we play at home, it's evident that McCrory is not as attacking minded as Bakayoko. Moving on to midfield, I think you go the wide men, Osborne and Enzio. I think they proved that when they've had the chance. Obviously Osborne wasn't in the squad for the Halifax game, but if Shields has a knock, like we said, it's got to be Osborne. He's proved when he's ready to play, he can come straight in and play. Obviously the assist against Chesterfield, and then Enzio is just Enzio, isn't he? He when he's on form, he's playing, and he seems to be picking up that form at the minute. Now the midfield 2 is a concern, because Doyle is fit, but Rose is potentially not fit, and we've got a problem with Booty as well. So we've just got to be fingers crossed that Rose is fit. So it's going to either be Doyle and Rose, or it's going to have to be Doyle and Crawford. Has Crawford played enough to come into a home game? Who knows? He should be good enough. He's played at this level. He's been at teams that are at the top of this table. So hopefully he would come straight in and take his chance. You would hope. But I think if Rose is anywhere near fit, he's got to be in after his performance against Halifax. And then the front 2, Wootton, obviously, just miles above National League level. He's got to be starting, and I think you put him with Thomas. I mean, there's a strike partnership. I know one of them hasn't scored, but you've got 4 goals between the strike partnership, so something's working. We know Thomas knows where the net is anyway, so I think that would just be the sensible option to keep those two up top together, with Dennis coming off the bench. Now looking at the prediction, George has given me his prediction of a 2-0 Notts with Wootton and Enzio getting the goals, and I'm going to join George and say we're going to get our clean sheet. It will be very tough, and I don't think we'll cruise this at 2-0, but I think we'll just have enough quality, and I'm going to go Wootton double, and I think he's just going to keep getting better for us this season. And I think a win here when it's the festive period and you can really build a bit of momentum would be really good for Notts' promotion push. I think now it's a playoff push. I don't think it's automatic, but anything can happen in this league. We've played teams that have gone 11 unbeaten, 15 unbeaten, ridiculous runs that you wouldn't expect, so you never know. Sadly, this is mine and George's only game probably of the whole season, and certainly so far, that we will not be at. So we will not be doing any fan chats after the game on Boxing Day. We will, however, be going to Solihull, so we'll see some of you guys there. Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you have a great Christmas, and we hope Notts reward all the fans that go down with a win on Boxing Day.